Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Chris.
This is Mike and Chris Reloaded.
And welcome to the show. We were here last. No, we weren't here last week.
We were here last week, but our equipment failed us.
We had technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Yes, our file was corrupted.
So we ended up losing our entire podcast, but that's okay. We'll give you the brief rundown, what we went over, and we'll talk about some new stuff.
Yeah, which it was start off with, which we talked about last week, but we didn't talk about last week. Chris Hardwick. We talked about him losing his position, and now he's getting it back.
Get reinstated.
Yeah, so that's good for CW for
after their investigation or whatever.
Yeah, they did
an
investigation of them,
and another thing we talked about was James Gunn.
Yeah,
getting fired from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. However, now did you see every single one of the members to cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, even Chris Pratt, signed a letter to have James Gunn reinstated.
Yep, I saw that. So we'll see what happens.
There's a lot of people, even Selma Blair.
Yeah, she quit Twitter.
She quit Twitter in protest of the James Gunn thing. And I thought it was pretty classy about what Chris Pratt said, without, I guess he's kind of riding the fence, what he said. He said, I don't agree with his statements that he made in the past, but he is an excellent director and he's an excellent person. He's been with us with Guardians of the Galaxy, and he deserves a shot at it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like we talked about, that happened, 20 years ago?
10 or 12 years ago.
Yeah, it happened an eon ago, and he apologized like 8 years ago.
Yeah, we talked about that. Disney knew about it.
Yeah, it's all on the table up in front, and it was perfectly fine until someone's like, ooh, not me.
Not me.
So...
of course, we talked about San Diego Comic-Con was last week.
Yep, San Diego
New trailers come out.
Aquaman, lots of them.
Yeah, Aquaman, new Godzilla, Shazam, new trailers for Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yep.
So a bunch of them. New shows, trailers for new shows, Walking Dead, Arrow, Flash, Fear the Walking Dead, all that.
Yeah, I was like the Aquaman, that people were in a tizzy because his hair wasn't wet in the poster. You remember that? Why do people got to crack down on this crap so hard?
That's what people do. That's the way the world is today.
It's like, what? His hair's not wet looking?
Yeah.
He's a god of sea. Maybe he doesn't get wet. He breathes water.
Yeah, really.
And you're worried about his hair.
He was actually talking like normal underwater too. So
yeah.
Yo.
Do you think that there's some other problems with the universe? Your hair is what you're gonna go on. Okay, all right, hair.
Kent and I always had this problem. Like, we'd go to watch a movie or something, and it'd be just some far out fantastic movie, and he'd always try and find the realism. I'm like, Kent, it's a movie.
Yeah, I know.
It's a movie, okay? It's like got unicorns and dragons in it, but you're trying to say that, oh, look at these people's shoes. That's not realistic for that time period. I'm like, really, Kent? Really?
That's what you're going to look at is the shoes? Yeah, I know Kent's like that. Love him to death, though.
Yeah, there you go, Kent. I just tossed you. Tossed you under the bus.
If he listens. Yeah, I don't think he listens because we talked about him once before and he didn't respond. So I think he stopped listening since he got his new position.
That's all right.
We forgive him.
American Horror Story revealed their new title.
Yeah, Apocalypse.
So looking forward to that.
I wonder how that...
finally officially started watching Freak Show.
Did you? Was it good?
I've got only one episode into it. So. But it's pretty freaky.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky.
Pretty good title. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I liked Freak Show. I liked the clown. The clown is amazing. I don't know about the Apocalypse, how they're going to work in the crossover into that. I know it's going to be about the baby because they show the baby from Murder House.
Yeah.
So I know they show the baby, but what Tate? What role is he gonna play? He's in every single episode.
Well, they already told Tate's role in this one. He's gonna play a comedic hairdresser.
A comedic hairdresser? Mm-hmm. Oh, I think we talked about that before.
We did.
I'm slow. But what about the other girl? The one from the one that Mary Paulson? Is that her name?
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson, yeah.
Who knows? She plays like 17,000 roles.
That's what I'm saying. What's she going to play in this now?
Well, in Coven, she was the head witch, and then in Murder House, she was a medium. So
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be interesting. I didn't ever realize that they were talking to me about Freak Show. I guess Freak Show and Asylum are crossovers.
Yes, I knew that.
So I didn't know they ever told me about that. Someone was telling me about that earlier today about how they kind of cross over. I was like, oh, well, so it's not the first time they've actually had stuff cross over.
No, it's not.
So,
but
I think it's going to be more interesting because Murder House was supposed to be one of the better ones out there, and the way it ended, and they talked about the child was supposedly the Antichrist or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Coven, you got these witches who are like good witches, and trying to open up to the world. So it might be something maybe trying to stop the evil. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be like them going after the baby. The witches going after the baby from Murder House. But
we'll see.
What's Lange's not going to be back from Murder House?
No, Jessica Lange will not be in the Apocalypse.
Yeah, which she's the caretaker of the baby in Murder House.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting.
But I know they did sign. What is her name? Another famous actress too, older lady. She's going to play Tate's, not Tate, but his character's grandmother.
Okay.
And it'll come to me eventually, but
gotcha.
But it should be interesting. Like I said, I started watching Freak Show, so hopefully I'll zip through all that in time for Apocalypse. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. You can just skip the election year one.
The
cult.
The cult.
Yeah, you can just skip that one.
Well, they say cult has something references.
It does.
Freak Show also.
Yes, it does.
Some with the clowns. So.
Yeah, the clown is in cult.
So we'll see. That's pretty much all we really did cover. There was a few other little odds and ends things here. De Niro possibly joining the Joker movie. Tom Hardy, 2 extra Mad Max movies.
Yeah.
Confirmed. So, but let's get into some newer stuff.
Like Amazon Prime's green light of the Lord of the Rings series.
Now, I heard they were talking about it. And it's supposed to be between The Hobbit and...
They got a writer today, the person who wrote Star Trek 4. I don't know who that is. I forgot.
Search for Spock?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's who the writer is. That's what I just said, Star Trek 4. So I think that's a search for Spock.
Okay.
So I think
that's pretty decent movie. It's all right.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the right. I forget his name. I looked it up. But.
Now, from what I heard, it's supposed to take place in between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an in-between movie, bridging the two together.
Well, it's a series, right?
Yeah, series. Okay. I meant series.
The Lethal Weapon. The series?
Yeah.
I know you liked it. We talked about it before.
I did. I gave up on it.
They got Sean William Scott to take the place of the character of Riggs.
Yeah.
I don't remember the guy's name, but they got Sean William Scott to take place. Well, they officially have a name for his character. They're not making him Riggs again. He's a total new character.
Oh, really?
Yep. His name is going to be Wesley Cole. I guess his backstory? He's a war veteran. He's in the ex-military. He's a cop, and he's a single dad. I mean, he's got a baby mama. She's there, but she's like a nurse or something. And apparently, they met in the military because she was an army nurse or whatever it was, a military nurse. And they had a kid together. Well, then they ended up splitting up or whatever. Well, she lives in Los Angeles she took a job in Los Angeles, and she has their kid. Well, he moves to Los Angeles so he can be closer to his kid, and that's how he connects with this. So.
I don't know. I might give it a try, but I gave up when I heard that they got rid of the guy playing Riggs.
I like Sean William Scott, though.
I do. He's funny.
He's had the Stifler stuff, but he's had some serious roles, too, and I really like some of his stuff he's done.
Yeah.
So, I'm just for that alone, I might consider start watching it. So, but I know the other series. They said the first 2 series were pretty good. Season was pretty good.
It was good.
I know my mom and stepdad really like it.
I liked it a lot too. And then when the news broke that they were getting rid of him, I understand he had some problems, so he needed to go. But I was still like, I don't know.
Well, they said he'd been reprimanded like 2 to 3 times within the 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And that last time was just it. That was it. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's his fault, but I don't know.
He come out and said too. He said he made a statement. Said, "Hey, this is my fault. I don't hold any grudges. Thank you for all the opportunity. I wish everyone the best of luck." So he was pretty stand up about it.
No, that's cool.
So.
That's cool. So Kevin Smith is working on a secret big budget film.
I saw that. I didn't know what he was actually working on
It's secret. He's not telling anybody, but apparently it's got a big back. According to him, it's got a big studio backing and a big budget. That's all they're releasing right now.
Oh, we'll see.
Because I know he's got the sequel to whatchamacallit's was it Blunt and Chronic movie? Or what? No, it's the other one.
You talking about Kevin Smith?
Yeah, Kevin Smith. The original. What's his most? I can't remember it.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, he's making a sequel to that.
Blunt and Chronic.
Blunt Man and Chronic.
That was their characters in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was trying to think. They're making another one.
They're making another. Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah. So. That's how I was trying to get you to answer me. I was telling you the characters.
Blunt and Chronic. I was like, wait, what? What are you smoking now, Mike?
I ain't smoking nothing. I promise you.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Kevin Smith has been. Most of the stuff he's done has been pretty good. So
except for his miniature Hitler movie.
Yeah,
and the Walrus.
Yeah, the Yoga Hosers wasn't that good?
Yeah, Yoga Hosers.
There was the other one, not the Jersey Girl or
I like
Geely or what.
I like Jersey Girl.
That's the one with Ben Affleck where he has a single daughter.
I don't understand why people.
No, that one was decent. There was the other one he did that wasn't that Geely.
Oh, everybody gives Jersey Girl a hard time too.
Jersey Girl was okay. It's a good little romantic comedy. I mean, I think Ben Affleck's acting was a little over the top on it, but
yeah.
But the other one that he did that no one really liked, the Geely or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah. That one wasn't that good.
Did you see last night aired the roast of Bruce Willis?
No, I did not. I knew they did roast.
I watched half of it.
I knew they did do the roast of him because when we were talking about that, how he said that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a effing Bruce Willis movie.
That's right.
But yeah, I watched half of it last night. I don't know. Apparently Bruce Willis picks his own people, and he didn't pick anybody that had anything to do with his career.
Huh. I know Demi Moore was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's a surprise guest. Yeah, he doesn't know she's gonna be there.
Surprise!
And apparently this is old because they kept saying Demi Moore was with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh yeah, that's old.
So apparently this roast was done a while back ago.
Well, yeah, because they haven't been together for a long time.
Yeah, I know, because they kept making references of Ashton Kutcher raising his kids and stuff like that.
Because I think he's been with Mila Kunis for like 2 years now.
Yeah, they're married now, and I think they have a kid on the way.
Yeah, they have. I think it's secretly got married. Secret marriage.
Yeah.
The Netflix has renewed Altered Carbon. Remember I told you about that show?
Yeah.
Which the
you have
first
to watch
season
it
was
yet.
awesome.
I'm gonna. It's on my list.
It was great. I loved it. The guy that's in it is the main actor. He was in. He played RoboCop in the remake. He played. Rick Flag in the Suicide Squad movie. He's a pretty well known actor. So.
Okay.
He was also. I don't know if you ever seen that movie Child 44. That was really good movie.
No, I didn't see that movie.
That was really good. It had Tom Hardy in it. It's kind of a post-Russian type thing. It was a really good movie, but he's in that also. Anyway, he's not going to be in the new series because if you know the premise of Altered Carbon is everyone has their mind set based on like a little disc that's implanted in what's called sleeves, which is human bodies.
Okay.
So you can take you can take any sleeve and put your conscience in it, mind and everything in that.
Oh, that's cool.
So they signed Anthony Mackie. You know who he is,
yep.
Soon. Anthony Mackie is going to play the lead as Takeshi Kovacs, which apparently I was reading about this, and apparently this is the Altered Carbon is a series of books.
Huh.
So this spans quite a while. So, and from what I was reading also on this, they said that the series itself is going to take place over the span of like 100 years or so. Which, if you watch the series anyway, it's already been like 300 years.
Oh, really?
But the series itself now with him in it, Takeshi progressing on, is going to take the span of over 100 years or so. So
that's cool. I'll definitely check it out. It's on my list.
It was really good, and I don't know how Anthony Mackie's going to do, but I loved Joel Kinnaman in it that's his name, Joel Kinnaman. when he played Takeshi Kovacs. It's just kind of like he was just kind of that no nonsense, I don't give a damn type.
Yeah, Joel kind of he got the blunt end of the deal because RoboCop was such a flop that he didn't get very much movie offers after that.
No, but they are making a sequel to it.
Yeah, I know they are. A sequel to the original, isn't it? I think it's a sequel to the original. I don't think it's a sequel to the new one.
Yeah, no, it's a sequel to the new one.
No, I think it's the
original.
Because
I think Blumhouse is doing it.
Really? I thought I read it was to the original. That they're going to pretend this last one didn't happen.
Peter Weller, he's a little up there in age.
Yeah, I know that.
Of course, I think later on Peter Weller didn't even play RoboCop. They had someone else come and play him.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who's in the suit.
Well, the new RoboCop wasn't horrible. I mean, it was
modernized.
It wasn't as campy and as classic as the original, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, the original, I mean, it's like one of those instant cult classic, movies that, stands up.
Well, that's cool.
But, we'll see.
I've been busy watching OTIB or OITB.
Orange is the New Black.
OITNB. Yeah. The new season of Orange is the New Black is out.
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black.
I have yet to watch any of that, so.
Really?
Hey, I'm pretty excited. I've got through 3 seasons of American Horror Story.
Well, we'll get you on Orange is the New Black next.
A friend of mine, she's actually watching a show she said it's like Orange is the New Black on steroids.
Really? I don't want to see that.
So she said it's a lot more intense and a lot more, and I'm trying to remember what the name of it.
Orange is the New Black is more than enough smut for me in a show. I don't think I could do
I don't know the extent of it, but she said it was pretty intense. So
yeah, there's nothing. They toned down the smut in Orange is the New Black over the last 2 seasons. I guess because the actresses that play the characters, the lead characters, the chick from 70s Place, and then the blonde.
Yeah.
I forget their names. I'm terrible at names, dude. But I guess they've said that they want to hold their nudity scenes down to a bare minimum.
It's Pippin.
Yeah, something Pippin.
Pippin. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one from that 70s show. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess her nudity scenes are pretty much done, and then the blonde is really limited. So they've toned it down. But it starts off pretty raunchy the first few episodes.
Netflix ain't afraid to push the envelope.
No, they're not.
And
I like Netflix series.
And speaking of which, we were talking about before, did you see the new Mowgli movie that Andy Serkis did?
No.
It's supposed to be due out in October.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he did a live action, basically, Jungle Book, which is just called Mowgli.
Yeah.
They got some pretty big actors. In fact, Andy Serkis himself does the voice of Baloo. I think Christian Bale does the voice of Bakir. Is it Bakir? Bakir?
I don't remember the names of those people.
That's the panther. Bakir.
Yeah.
Shere Khan is the tiger.
Yep, Shere Khan is the tiger.
Benedict Cumberbatch does the voice of Shere Khan.
Okay.
So, I mean, they've got some pretty big actors.
Yeah.
Well, Netflix has purchased the distribution and licensing right to that movie, which means it's not coming out in the theaters this year. They're going to release it on Netflix next year.
Huh. Interesting.
Andy Serkis was quoted. He's like, "Yeah," he goes, "It's great to have your movie, and I know Netflix is really popular." He goes, "However, I did film this movie with a 3D background, so I was hoping it'd be released in the theaters." So I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't know either.
So it'll
be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
They did that with.
Yeah, it's not the first time Netflix.
No, they did that with the North Korea movie with Seth Rogen. I can't remember.
Oh yeah. The Interview.
The Interview, yeah. They did that with.
They did that. They did it to another one also. And I can't remember what the name is off the top of my head. But like I said, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Staying on Netflix or streaming industries, the Castle Rock come out the other day for Hulu.
Yes, that looks really interesting.
By Steven Spielberg and J.J. Abrams.
No, Stephen King.
Stephen King and J.J. Abrams. Yeah, but it's got what's his name from It and
Skarsgård.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård. Yeah.
Which, if anybody knows anything about Stephen King, that's the name of his production type company is Castle Rock Entertainment.
Yep.
So, It ought to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
If you ever pay attention to any of his books or movies or whatever, everything takes place in Maine.
Yep. I think this takes place in Maine too. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see what it is.
I mean, that's two pretty brilliant minds. I mean,
yeah, working together, that's a big deal to me.
Yeah. That'll be good.
And J.J. Abrams put out the best Star Wars movie.
Let's get some of the bad news out of the way before we get back into it. I want to. I know. A couple of deaths over the weekend. WWE.
Yeah, Lawler and.
Brian Christopher, which is Jerry Lawler's son, apparently dead at the age of 46 from apparent suicide, which is pretty sad. I know he had a lot of history with drugs and he had some depression issues and stuff like that, but I guess it finally took its toll. So.
And Nikolai, right?
Nikolai Volkov, dead at the age of 70.
Yeah, he lived a pretty decent life, though.
Yeah, he was good. So, yeah, that's sad news to hear with WWE. You know, and,
yeah.
But, you know.
Best wishes to their families.
Definitely.
Especially the King.
Oh, yeah.
I love the King, man. He's been a staple for WWE for 40 years, 50 years.
Long time.
So it's rough to see them go through that and have to when they leave loved ones behind. But if I lived till 70, I'd be a happy man.
You and me both.
70. That's my goal. 75 is my goal for life age. Of course, I gotta quit smoking, huh?
That'll probably help a little bit.
Probably just a tiny bit.
I know you're not going to want to hear this, Mike, but number one at the box office over the weekend?
I don't want to know.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
Cruise! My nemesis!
The movie opened up with about $62 million over the weekend, which is the second highest grossing. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase it. It's the second highest grossing Tom Cruise movie for him, but it's the highest grossing Mission Impossible movie made to date on opening weekend. The last one that opened up higher was Mission Impossible 2 at $57 million. They're saying this Mission Impossible Fallout is like the best one. In fact, the Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 98% fresh rate.
I just do not like Cruise, man. Risky Business, maybe I'll sit through that. Cocktails, might sit through that again.
I watched Cocktail a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, might sit through that one again, but anything else? Garbage. Garbage Cruise.
Man, I mean, they're saying this one's good, so we'll see.
Well, I can poop in my hand and call it peanuts. Are you going to eat it? Okay. I believe it's a good movie. I'm just
telling you what everyone says it is.
I believe it's a good movie.
And you know Rotten Tomatoes, they give their fresh rating. Like I said, they gave it 98%. And that's almost as high as you can get without getting 100%.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I give it to him. I'll probably end up watching it. He'll probably end up getting some money out of me.
And, of course, rounding out the top 5 over the weekend, Mamma Mia 2 was number 2. What was number 3?
Uh-oh. Brain farts.
I did.
I hate it.
Anyway,
it's
Mamma
not
Mia
important.
2. Hotel Transylvania 3 was like 5th.
Skyscraper
wasn't even on there.
Everybody said The Rock was going to bomb with Skyscraper.
It's been bombing. So, Equalizer 2 was number 3.
Oh, yeah, Denzel Washington.
Yeah, that was number 3.
Denzel. So. I want to see that.
I think Hotel Transylvania was 4th, and then Incredibles 2 was still in the top 5.
Oh, okay.
And I think Incredibles 2 has already topped $1 billion.
Yeah. I figured it would hit $1 billion.
They said it needed $7 more million to go over $1 billion over the weekend. I think.
Can you imagine Disney, man? Just they got to be laughing. Everything they put out does $1 billion now.
I know.
And now they bought Fox officially.
Here's my thing: if Disney's making these movies that bring in $1 billion, how come the world is so poor?
Yeah.
Where are we coming up with this money to go watch these movies?
I know, right?
That's what I want to know.
Well, it's not from MoviePass because apparently MoviePass had a shutdown. I don't know if you know of this service. I think I talked to you about it once before.
I actually saw that where they shut down.
Yeah, and now they're back open. They borrowed like $5 million from some angel investors to keep their program running, but now they've blocked Mission Impossible Fallout from people's option to go watch them in the theater. You can watch any movie in the theater except for Mission Impossible.
See, there you go, Mike. There's a little measure of redemption for you.
I know. I felt good about it. I smiled a little bit. I smiled.
Take that, Tom. Take that.
But apparently this Movie Pass thing, they don't get a discount for their movie tickets. They're paying full purchase price for these movie tickets. For
You'd think they would have negotiated something.
Yeah. I can see why they're failing.
AMC come out with a thing. It's AMC Prime or something like that.
Yeah.
You pay, I think it's like $10 a month or something like that, or $20 a month. I can't remember how much it is, but they give you, I think 3 or 4 movie passes a month.
Yeah.
I think it's like $10 a month, but you get 3, and you can go anytime you want. No matter what, it's not. You can't go like only Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock or whatever.
Right.
But you can go pick any 3 movies you want a month, watch them anytime.
Right. And that's a good deal.
They also do something with concessions on there too. Now I'm a member of like the AMC Rewards program.
Yeah.
Which that's actually great because they give me like points back. I mean, every time I go to a movie, I get an instant like 10 or 15,000 points with expensive as movies for a day.
I know, right?
And that's enough for like $10 off whatever my next tickets or something.
I try to stay with deal flick movies, personally.
Deal flicks are good too.
I try to get my free popcorn.
For a ticket and a popcorn, that's not too terrible.
Yeah, well, it's more expensive in other parts of the country, but for us here, $7 is what it costs us. Well, if you live down in Orlando, it's like $13.
Well, I'm sure, which is probably an incredible deal for people.
Yeah, dude, when I lived down there, movie tickets were getting up to $20 a ticket.
Well, I don't doubt it.
If you wanted to go see one on Disney, because Disney's got a theater themselves, it's $25 a ticket.
Well, heck, to watch IMAX up here, it's like $16 or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I got some more bad news. The makers of Detroit Becomes Human and Heavy Rain, they lost one of their lawsuits this week for creating a hostile work environment for their employees. It's unspecified damages at this time. But
so they had to put away the whips?
Yeah. Well, apparently it's based around one guy creating sexual harassment and vulgar phrases and stuff at work all the time. And apparently these 4 employees went and complained about it, and instead of them taking care of the guy that's being vulgar, they got rid of the 4 employees. One guy sued and he lost his case, but this one was sued in Paris and he actually won. So it's kind of interesting to see what happened, what the damages are going to be, and how bad it's going to hurt the studios.
That is pretty interesting, actually. Speaking of which, we're talking about harassment and everything else. And I know you're not going to know who this is, but there's a world-famous singer. She's actually an opera singer. Her name is Anne-Sophie von Otter.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I didn't think you would. But anyway, I didn't really know who she was. I just saw the article. I thought it was intriguing. But she was married to a gentleman named Benny Fredrickson. And apparently it come out that some tabloids, not reputable newspapers, but actually tabloids, released some articles about her husband being, like you said, just harassing people. There was one point where her husband had made supposedly, I guess he ran like a little theater production company.
Okay.
And there was one point where they said her husband made people perform in the nude. They said that they said her husband had to told someone they either had to get an abortion or they weren't going to get a part or stuff like that. Well, all the stuff was really defamating to him, and he chose to step back away from it, until everything got cleared up. Well, this whole thing come out in the tabloids again, and everyone's quoting the Me Too movement, people, saying they were harassed and everything else. Well, her husband, Benny Fredrickson, ended up committing suicide. He killed himself.
Oh, man.
So, she actually come out and, she said he fell into a deep depression and got, upset. And even though they did a complete sweep investigation and everything, and nothing was ever found or confirmed or nothing. But it was, I guess, everything affected him so much that,
So she's got a lawsuit on her hands.
Well, she ended up coming out and saying, she straight up said, She blames the Me Too movement. She said people come out and
falsely accuse
people over sexual misconduct or whatever else, and it ruins people's lives. And with this opening of she talked about the Weinstein thing, how that was just debaucherous and was not good. What he did, obviously, that was not good. But there's been just so many times since then of people coming out, oh, this person did this person did that.
Like in Chris Hardwick's.
Yeah, exactly. And it's gotten out of hand. And she come out and said, like, even, like, human dignity has just reached an all-time low where everyone looks at people to where, and they read something in a paper. And the papers, of course, they exploit everything. They throw something out there to catch your eye.
Right.
They want, or news or anything. They'll throw something out there to catch you, to get you to read that or whatever. And that's the thing. It's just everyone is just so intent on hurting other people for the sake of just the bigger
30 seconds of fame.
Exactly,
basically.
your 15 minutes of fame or whatever. Be it the news people, be it the people in the news, be it whatever. Yeah. They're going to come out, tell their story or whatever, and say, here it is. This is what happened to me. Well, allegations saying no, this is what happened to me, and then all of a sudden they get an interview, and it's like now they're all over the world spreading the same story.
I'm sure the person who created the Me Too movement wasn't expecting it to turn into what it's turned into right now, because I don't know what the percentage is, but I think it's like 2/3% of women over the course of their life have been sexually assaulted. I think it's a lot. It's like a high percentage of women that get sexually. So I understand the purpose behind it, but there's also there's people out there ruining it. They're making the message something that it was not meant to be, and they're just doing it for their own personal gain and their own personal notoriety.
Well, and yeah, and we talked about this before, and I mentioned the Aziz Ansari thing, how he had sexual relations with a woman who was completely consensual, but because it was pretty much a bad lay for her, she come out and said, well, I didn't want to do that. And he kind of...
Right.
And he's like, whoa, it was totally consensual,
Right.
And then come to find out it was completely consensual, and even those people come to defense of him, too. Like, you can't say that because you had bad sex, you were accosted.
Right. Yeah.
There's a fine line in between it somewhere.
So. Yeah, we could talk about this all day. Let's just swipe it under a rug until next week when something else happens.
I just thought it was interesting to see that someone's actually, and this woman is like, she's a Grammy winner. She's a world-renowned opera singer. I mean, I don't listen to opera, so I can't say I've ever really heard of her, but I'm curious to actually go listen to some of her stuff now, but...
Right.
But and you get someone that's big in the public to come out and say, you guys are wrong. I'm a woman and I'm telling you you're wrong.
Right.
That's a pretty big thing.
It is. I agree. Like I said, I'm sure the person who started the Me Too movement didn't anticipate it to turn into what it's turned into. I'm sure that wasn't their thought process behind starting the hashtag Me Too.
I think it originally started out as women's rights, equal rights for women. Okay. And then it ended up with the whole, Me Too, like I was, kind of with the Weinstein thing come out, and then it's like, okay,
yeah,
everyone was accosted by Weinstein. All of a sudden, I mean, that dude got around. Apparently, he must have, raped about 7,000 women. But, because that's about how many came out within the first week saying that he did it. So,
yeah.
Saying.
Yeah. So that's all I got right now. What you got? Anything left?
I got one more thing. This is pretty big. I posted earlier, I don't know if you saw me post about the Japanese researchers in Kyoto University. Apparently, they're starting the very first human trials for Parkinson's disease.
I did see this. Yes.
Yeah, what they're doing. I think they got 6 to 8 people between the ages of 50 and 69.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, Michael J. Fox is one of them.
No, I don't think he is yet. But they're using what's called IPS, which is induced pluripotent stem cells. And these stem cells, they're injecting them straight into the brain, but they are blank stem cells. And what they do is they actually develop their own cells when in the body.
Right. Okay, I understand.
So, I think it's pretty awesome.
It is. I think that's illegal in the United States because stem cell research is still outlawed.
Parkinson's affects over 7 million people around the world and over 1 million people in the United States alone.
Yeah.
So, and it's a degenerative nerve disease is what it is.
I know my dad has Parkinson's.
So if this is something, but the thing about it is, I know the stem cells research is a little iffy.
Yeah.
But
they don't want to be playing God, so the United States is against it.
Well, and the thing about this is the stem cells, they're not like using someone else's.
Right.
They're blank. There's nothing on them. They're allowing themselves to rebuild themselves.
Right.
But it's like taking an aspirin for a headache, or it's like taking a cold pill for a cold. You're boosting your immune system, or you're boosting
Yeah, your stem cells. I get it. Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. They're trying to boost that to recreate the neurons to be able to get rid of the degenerative disease. So, which I think is awesome.
It is awesome. It's freaking amazing. I just hope the United States opens up their stem cell research a little bit.
We'll see.
So that's all I got. So make sure to like and share our Facebook page, or Instagram, or Twitter. Leave us a review on iTunes. I would appreciate that. Next week, we're going to start the Ask the Geek segment.
We'll definitely get to it next week. We just had a lot going on this last couple of weeks, and with the show being messed up last week, so we need to cover a lot.
Yeah, so next week, Ask the Geek will start. So if you got a question for the Geek, or you got a comment, or anything you'd like to speak to Chris with, best place to hit him up is Facebook. On our site, we'll see it there. That's pretty much, we're old school, so we spend most of our time on Facebook.
Maybe we should do Stump the Geek. That'd be a good one too.
Stump the Geek? Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a future segment.
Yeah, that could be a future. You stump me, we'll throw a shirt at you or something, right?
Yeah. That sounds like an idea.
Yeah, definitely. If you got any questions on anything about you want to ask, find out anything geek-wise, movie, entertainment, sports, whatever you want, we know. I know. I know all.
He knows all. He sees all, too. Shut your blinds. Remember, don't get loaded.
Get reloaded.